WrestleLost. It's WrestleLost. It's WrestleLost. Can you believe it? King Bad God. Oh.
I see that, JR. It's triggered. It's Johnny. It's Drew. Can you believe it?
It's going to be a slobber knocker.
As they say, anything can happen on WrestleLost.
Welcome to WrestleLost, folks.
Ah, yes, she's here. It's the WrestleLost Derby cast.
The sniper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLost. There is a lot to talk about. A lot of shit has happened since last weekend. So to get it going, here's Johnny.
And you know what? Going through my notes, all the news, there's no news on WWE. So, first of all, let's get the lighthearted, hardest stuff out of the way. Oh, well, there is a piece of WWE news. We'll get to it. But lighthearted first. Last Sunday was the finals of the G1 Climax. And surprisingly, in almost 35 minutes, Tetsuya Naito defeated Kazuchika Okada to win his third G1 Climax, first since 2017. So this means that he's now eligible to challenge Sonata or whoever the world champion is, or at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th.
Not bad. I'm kind of surprised. I shouldn't say surprised, but they got other plans for Okada, of course.
Yeah.
So,
because the day before, on last Saturday, he had Naito had what's now a 6-star match against Will Ospreay in the semifinals. So go check that out. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why my voice is going. So now the only piece of WWE news. Lacey Evans is no longer with the company. She has her contract has expired and WWE didn't renew it. There was some speculation earlier in the week that she was released, but no, it was just her contract had expired. And from what I hear, she's going to be doing OnlyFans now.
I mean, look, good on that. This is going to be weird to say. Good on WWE for not renewing her contract. I know that's kind of fucked up to say because this is what they love to do, right? Pro wrestling is their thing. But she came with a lot of issues. So it's a good thing, trust me. She's gonna find other things to do.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
And she's gonna try and join Mandy Rose and Jordan Grace as being self-made millionaires.
I think it'll happen for her. I mean, if I push everything else aside, I wouldn't mind. But, we know a lot of what she has said and done. So,
yeah.
But hey, it's OnlyFans. OnlyFans is good for whatever you want it to be.
Right.
So she's gonna do the best she can with what she has, and what she has is quite good. So do your thing, Lacey.
This past week, Dynamite was in Nashville, and there were 3 notable names backstage. Summer Rae, we're not sure why she was there. But also and backstage was C.J. Perry, who's the wife uh, of Miro. That could just be because they live in Nashville, so she may have just been visiting. But who knows? Who knows what the future might bring with that? And also, not sure why he was back there. Uh, Former WCW champion Goldberg. I mean,
I was about to say, what?
just kidding.
Switch it up on me?
Just kidding. David Arquette was backstage at AEW for some unknown reason.
I already told you what I think
Yeah,
they should do. Capitalize. I mean, it's David Arquette. He's a big name. He has ties to wrestling. Former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, star of Ready to Rumble.
yeah,
You said, why don't they do a part two?
yes. This time with AEW.
Yeah, if they do decide to bring him in and do something with him, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a part two of that movie. Ready to Rumble 2. I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. And I even threw it out there that, you got a defending champion in Orange Cassidy. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be mad if they did something between him and David Arquette. Maybe even start off as a tag team or something, have a tag match, have him join the best friends for a little bit. Like they hug it out for a match. And then at the end, it ends up being Orange Cassidy versus David Arquette for the title. Like you can do some really good shit there.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with it.
and now to something that's not really good shit. Yesterday we got word that Cash Wheeler, real name Daniel Wheeler, had been arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And this incident actually goes back to the end of July. It happened on, I believe, July 27th. And so uh, he was arrested and was in Orlando jail. I'm sure he's out by now, but uh, yeah, this puts this now. There's a lot of questions to be answered in the air right now because we're just 8 days from All In next Sunday in London. The Young Bucks are supposed to take on FTR for the AEW titles tonight on Collision. They're supposed to address the issue, which is something different that normally when something like this happens, they keep it behind the scenes. You don't. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna say, but you normally don't hear them talk about the stuff like that on camera. This Wednesday on Dynamite, there's also supposed to be a meeting between the Bucks and FTR, which may have been already pre-taped before this incident. Yeah, we'll see. As of now, he's still on for All In. He hasn't had his passport taken away. Only thing they took away was his weapons, and uh, as long as he's not charged with a felony, he'll be fine. If he's charged before next weekend, he won't be able to travel. So we'll just see what happens.
I don't know. I'm not very well versed in like law and what could possibly happen. Okay, so I know he pleaded not guilty. That I do know. That has been said.
Okay.
I don't know what all has been discussed between him and Tony, or him and the court, or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just for I'm just throwing out a hypothetical out there. What if they came up with a deal and they were like, if we can just postpone this for a little bit, have him go do his thing overseas in the UK, and then when he comes back, whatever happens, whatever has to happen, happens.
Well, because see, now that you say he's pleaded not guilty, and then that just means that now there's going to be a court date. I don't think they will be able to have a court date within the next week, so he should be all right on that.
Okay. Yeah, because if I was them, because I'm pretty sure after that they're just going to be doing shows in the States again.
Yeah,
So he should be fine afterwards. So that's just something I would have thrown out there if I was them, just to make sure there is no more issues or surprises this last week, you know? But yeah, he's pleaded not guilty. So probably a court date has been set, like you said. So we shouldn't have anything to worry about until then.
yeah. Okay, now let's get to our discussion point, because there's been some more CM Punk backstage news has gone on. So this is going back to last Saturday at Collision. After the show went out the air, CM Punk cut a promo for the people in Greensboro, and pretty much cutting a promo on another promo on Hangman Adam Page, saying that his merch and his toys don't sell, but Punk's toys sell, and his merch sells, and saying that the Elite aren't the heart and soul of AEW, that CM Punk is the heart and soul of AEW, which that comes from the Elite's promo when they came back a few months back, saying that they were the heart and soul. Um, and this also coincides with the fact that Hangman was actually supposed to be on Collision, or booked to be at the building last week, but he was told he wasn't going to be needed at the show. He couldn't come in the building. Uh, I mean, a lot of people are speculating that CM Punk actually has control as to who's not allowed to show up at Collision, even though Tony Khan said that's not his decision. But sounds to me like CM Punk is really more of the boss on Collision than Tony Khan is. There were all, and once the reports about Hangman not being allowed came out, other wrestlers came out and said that they're also weren't allowed back at Collision, including Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy, Ryan Nemeth, had who tweeted out after Collision's debut that Punk was soft, and they had a backstage altercation at the June 21st Dynamite. Uh, so, and also on that list was Christopher Daniels was not allowed in the building either, which that's surprising because Christopher Daniels is the head of talent relations with AEW. So you essentially got a wrestler telling one of the bosses they can't go to work. I don't know.
I'm gonna put this as simple as I can. and I hate to put it this way, but this is the truth. Tony brought this problem on himself because we all know why Collision is happening. It's the CM Punk and Company show.
or why it's happening the way it is.
Yeah, you came up with Collision to have a show where CM Punk can be comfortable, can be away from everybody else that he's not comfortable with, and that way you're keeping the peace in your company. Now, I don't know of anyone that has a show just for themselves and his friends, but that's what's happening here with him. And yeah, we're getting some really good wrestling out of it. I mean, right now on my screen is Dalton Castle versus Jay White.
Yeah,
And this is a badass match from what I've seen. I've been peeking up, looking at it from time to time.
yeah,
But
and another interesting thing is that normally Ring of Honor is taped on Saturdays, either right before or after Collision. This week, Ring of Honor was taped the same night as Dynamite. And what's interesting about that is that wrestlers that appeared on Dynamite or on Ring of Honor that night included Christopher Daniels, Brandon Cutler, Ryan Nemeth, and Cole Cabana,
yeah,
who are none of those guys are allowed on Collision
yeah.
or backstage.
So here's the other thing I wanted to say. Like you want to have the CM Punk and Company show, cool. You got it right here. But at the same time, you're running a business, so you have to think about that as well. You don't want any of these other guys showing up, any of these other talent. That's fine. Christopher Daniels is your head of talent relations.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are. This, if I was in Christopher Daniels' position, wouldn't sit right with me. If I have a job to do, but you're telling me I can't show up at this show because this guy doesn't like me and it is his show, that's kind of fucked up. That means you don't want me to do my job. You're telling me I can't go over there to do my job.
that's like if Cody Rhodes tells Triple H he can't show up to work.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Like I get it. I get that he doesn't get along with people. That's why you gave him this show. But they are adults here.
Yeah,
So maybe when Christopher Daniels has to be around for a little bit, you just have to put up with it. He has a job to do. Let him do his job. He's not going to go in there and try and start some shit. He's going to go in there to just do his job, and that's it. So that's the way I see it. Just let him have on his show whoever he wants to have, but allow Christopher Daniels to do his job. He's not going to go in there and try and pull some shit. That's just what I think. Like, I love CM Punk. I appreciate CM Punk, but he's just another guy on your roster.
I was like,
Okay? So let him go in there and do what he has to do. Christopher Daniels, I mean.
yeah. So I've heard a lot of people saying that Tony Khan is letting his wrestling fandom get in the way of his duties as being the boss, and I would agree with that. I mean, you got to find that balance between being a fan and being the boss.
Yeah, because I mean, we all in a way start off as fans, and even talent has started off as fans. That's why you get into doing what you love because you're a fan of it to begin with. So yeah, you've probably heard the same story I have, that whenever CM Punk made his return from injury, when he walked into the building, Tony Khan stood up from wherever he was at and started chanting CM Punk. He started his own CM Punk chant in the back. And hey, look, I get it. It's CM Punk. But at the same time, you're the boss. You have to act like it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hate to be harsh and stuff like that, but it's the truth. And that's what we talk here. That's how it should be taught.
And there was this week on Dynamite. There was a segment backstage with MJF and Adam Cole where they double clothesline somebody into a pool in the hallway, and Tony Khan came out and was like, "My office now," and he closed the door, and you just hear him yelling at them about not doing stuff backstage, like getting in fights, like stuff like that. That was a rib to what all has been going on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and I guess it's Tony Khan trying to show people that yeah he can be the boss too.
He's more like with that one thing he did on air, he's shown to be more of an authority figure on screen than off screen with that one thing. But what do I know, man? I don't know everything that has gone on backstage, but he needs to put his boss pants on.
Yeah,
Like this is getting to the point where some people are no longer being able to take AEW seriously, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want people to view AEW in those eyes, in
yeah,
that mindset.
and like I said, we're 1 week out from All In, and AEW has had with with everything that's gone on with CM Punk and with the Cash Wheeler news, hasn't been a very good week.
It shouldn't. It This isn't the week that it should have been.
Yeah,
Like this is we were on 2 weeks out from All In.
yeah, and then you got All Out the following week.
Yeah. So this is where they should have buckled down and build more matches, and which they did. They announced more matches, so that's good. But at the same time, how focused can you be when you have all this other stuff going on right now? And like I said, it might be safe, but for a while there, it felt like your tag title match was in jeopardy. But it looks like we've worked that out for now.
Yeah, but that makes you wonder though, because FTR is friends with CM Punk. How willing are the Young Bucks to work with FTR?
Well, I mean, they ended up in the ring together for a little bit.
Yeah,
So I would say there's a good chance that they're willing to work together. I think CM Punk is the bigger issue. He's the one that they really have to keep tabs on as far as who he can and can't work with. The Bucks are going to be for professional. They're not.
yeah,
They're not as hot headed as CM Punk is. So CM Punk is a lot like I am. He doesn't give a shit. Okay. Like, he wants to do the job, but at the same time, he doesn't give a shit. He'll say what he wants to say. So, yeah, I know how he feels, but sometimes you just got to put up and do the job, which I've had to do a couple of times as well.
Yeah, so that's all the CM Punk drama. And you know what? We didn't even mention the Jungle Boy incident.
Yeah, we
The
did not.
so Jack Perry, he had like some vacation time scheduled, but he wanted to write himself off TV. He was only going to be out for a week, which I don't know. So I don't know why he wanted to do that, but he wanted to write himself off to where he was going to like go through uh, real glass, and Tony Schiavone and CM Punk, they didn't think that was a good idea. They didn't see that as a safe angle, and apparently, I guess, well, according to Punk, that Jack Perry was throwing a tantrum about that backstage, and CM Punk says something to the effect of we don't do that on Saturdays. If you want to do something like that, go back to Wednesdays. You know,
Pretty much that could be in a crybaby bitch.
yeah,
I mean, sure, man. If that's the way things are handled on Saturday, cool. Again, there's a different way of going by and doing things. Save the comments, man. Like, save your comments. Let Tony do his thing and send him away if he needs to. But there's no need for the comments.
yeah.
But at the same time, I understand.
But again, I think that's in CM Punk's mind. I think he thinks he is the boss of Collision
Well, I mean, can you blame him?
because he has this whole blacklist of wrestlers that can't be on the show or even in the building. You know,
Yeah, that's why I know I said I put this on Punk, but at the same time, you offered this show up to him. So how would you feel if they come up to you and if, let's say, you are CM Punk and Tony comes up to you and he tells you, okay, so you don't get along with these people, I'm going to give you your own show. Here you go. I would think I'm in command. If you tell me this is my show, I would think I'm in command. That's where Tony has to come in and show that he can be the boss and take care of situations.
now back to the Hangman situation. CM Punk said that he texted an apology to Hangman about everything that's gone on within the last year, and said that according to Punk, he didn't know that Hangman wasn't going to be on Collision. He
Yeah.
said that if Hangman was there, he would have apologized to him in person. So
Yeah. And as far as what he said about his action figures, he says he meant it as a joke,
yeah,
and he didn't mean for it to spiral out of control like it did. So he did apologize.
yeah,
At least he did that. But from what I heard, it was a text apology,
yeah,
which it's fine. It's not that big of a. It's like, if it was a true joke, it's not that big of a deal. At least he apologized. So, small steps. Small steps. CM Punk is learning.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if you had anything else on it, but what a hell of a week, dude.
yeah. No, that was it. Yeah,
Like, so much damn drama.
that was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's so much drama, and we just want to get to All In. Like, I'll, I'm not prepared to say that a lot of people are not going to watch it because of the drama, but it has to take some sort of effect on viewership. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like we're gonna notice because how much can it really amount to? But you never know.
Yeah.
But they have sold over 80,000 tickets now.
Yes, and so here another piece of news: the gate for All In has now surpassed WrestleMania 32, the first one they had here in Dallas at AT&T Stadium, as the highest selling wrestling event ever.
Yeah, yes. Great job, AEW. Like you've done it. You've surpassed it. Great job.
Yep.
WWE, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
So WWE on the other side of that, tickets yesterday went on sale for WrestleMania 40, and these are WWE figures. So I don't know the validity of it, but apparently they've already sold 91,000 tickets. Apparently they've already sold more tickets to this WrestleMania than they did last year.
Yeah. But here's the thing with that though. That's counting both nights.
Yeah,
So yes, it's 90,000 tickets, but that's over 2 nights.
right.
This is 80,000
In one
one
night.
night.
Yeah,
So yes, you people are gonna be like, oh, but WWE sold 90,000. Yeah, in 2 nights.
yeah,
So let's say AEW had 2 nights. That would have been 160,000 roughly.
yeah,
So, you know, I see your argument, but then I'm gonna raise you this. So don't be petty, WWE. Look, man, you sold 90,000 tickets. That's real good shit.
yeah.
Don't be petty. Don't rub it in people's faces, man. Like it is what it is. But yeah, that just when I heard that shit, I was just like, come on, man. Can't we just get along? Fucking hey, dude. But hopefully everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Everything throughout this coming week will go off without a hitch. And then we get to All In. Everybody's able to be there, take care of business. Don't start no fights around the arena. There's a stadium. Stadium.
It's a stadium.
The only fight that should happen at the stadium that should be all over the place, the stadium stampede. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
don't
talk
start
about
no
that.
more shit.
We'll talk about that more in a bit.
Hell yes. So now that we've made it through the news, I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for WWE.
So last night on SmackDown, the main focus of the show wasn't the bloodline for a change. The only bloodline related segment we got was Paul Heyman with a backstage interview, and he got a call simply just saying that Jimmy Uso is going to be a SmackDown next week. But who called him?
Yeah, who's the informant?
Yeah,
I mean, look, every time he's been on the phone, it's always been on the phone to Roman Reigns.
yeah.
But if
But Jimmy's not in the bloodline anymore.
yeah, and
As
if he was talking to Roman, he would have made it known
yeah,
that that's who he was talking to, and that didn't happen this time around.
so hey, I'm thinking it was Rikishi.
Has to be someone in the family.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking maybe it wouldn't be The Rock. Or would it be? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's one or the. It has to be one or the other. It
Yeah.
has to be either Rikishi or The Rock. So
Or maybe it's his cousin Athena Grace,
maybe.
or whatever his name is, Adriana. Or I don't even know what her screen name is.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
But yeah, man, it could be. It's a very short list of who it could be. Whoever it was, I hope they're able to find themselves on screen and make an impact somehow.
but anyway, that wasn't my moment. uh, the main point of SmackDown last night was that it was Edge's final match. They were in Toronto last night, and not even they didn't even advertise Edge's final match. It was the 25th anniversary of Edge, and
Yeah,
he was going to have a match against Sheamus, and the main event, something that someone he had never wrestled before. Uh, but they did have several video packages throughout the night showing the highlights of Edge's career, and it very did feel like it was a retirement match, at least a WWE retirement.
yeah,
I mean, you had you even had people like John Cena and Kurt Angle, wishing him well for his 25 years, and you had current and former wrestlers saying good things about him, both face and heels.
yeah. It very much felt like this was it for him in WWE.
Yeah, because
This,
apparently his contract was going to be up yesterday. He did send a tweet that said that his contract actually not up till the end of next month, but a lot of people are speculating that's just Edge trying to throw people off because there's speculation that he he could possibly show up at Wembley next week.
before I even get into that, I just want to speak on last night first.
Yeah,
It did feel like this was, like I said, it did feel like this was it for Edge in WWE. I do think the story of him saying my contract's not up till the end of September, I do believe that's just something he threw out there to throw the scent off whatever he's going to do next. And I'll be damned, bro. If I was talking to a lot of people last night as it was going on. I mean, I was paying real good attention, but I had my eye on a couple of messages in different groups I had going on, and everybody was pretty well emotional, bro. Like
yeah,
as soon as he came out and ran over to ringside and he hugged his kids and Beth Phoenix, and she was already crying. And like it was just his entrance. That was the first sign to me that this has to be it. The second sign, which I should have said, but I didn't, don't mind the dogs, is right as it was closing down, the last seconds of SmackDown, you see Sheamus and Edge hugging it out.
yeah.
I don't think that was meant to be on screen. I think Sheamus jumped the gun by a couple of seconds. And yeah, just catching that at the very end. And just the way, like you said, both face and heels in video packages doing their thank yous to Edge and throwing up the horns and doing the whole Edge thing. Yeah, it felt retirement to me. So It was very well done. They had a very good match and a very nice moment in the end. Now, to what everybody is thinking is going to happen. We've said it before. If if something is going to be done where you have Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, it has to be now.
Yes.
And like you mentioned to me earlier, the Dudleys did reunite. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yes.
There's a very slim chance of getting all three groups, but there is a chance. And
At the very least, getting the Hardys versus Edge and Christian.
yes, that at the very least. But if you were to get the Dudleys, though, yeah. But I wasn't gonna bring up him showing up at Wembley because I wasn't sure of what the chances were. Did you see Sean's recent tweet?
No.
I'm talking about this happened within the last 2 hours.
No.
At best, maybe 3. So, and here's why we mention Sean a lot. 99% of the stuff that he brings up is very accurate. So he has mentioned that he has spoken to people in WWE. He has spoken to people in AEW, asking them what are the chances, what they think are the chances of Edge showing up at All In. Even people within WWE have said, we are fully convinced that the plan is for him to show up. That's what we think. Not reporting it.
Right, yes.
But that by what they see,
It's not aggregated yet.
by what they see, they would not be surprised. I mean, yes, it's going to be a surprise. Like, we're going to be shocked if it happens. We're going to be happy. We're going to be out of our seats if that happens. But they are under their thoughts that it is going to happen, or at least that there's a very good chance.
Yeah, because if this is like truly like a retirement tour, you want him to show up everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, if he's going to be in AEW, this is what I want, and that just because of my being a New Japan mark. I don't care who the opponent is. I want him to have a match on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. Just to say that he got to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome.
He just has to hit up like every single company he wishes to work for.
Yes.
And do it while you can, which is right now. Like, this is it for you.
Yeah, if your contract really is up with WWE, you're free, basically.
Yeah. I would say, because his body has to be hurting. Like, he's up there, man. Okay? And he's put his body through hell. So, I would take the next year and just say, you want me to come do this match? All right, let's do this match. I'm going to give you the best year of my life outside of WWE.
Yeah.
And do all the matches. But after that, it's done. In ring. You want me to come through and scout talent, fucking write storylines, help out new talent in any way that he can? He'll do all that if he wants to, if that's something he wants to do. But as
Oh,
far as in ring,
yeah, I can see him working backstage in AEW.
yeah, I could see him working backstage anywhere.
Just like how Abyss spent his whole career wrestling in TNA Impact, never once wrestled for WWE, but yet he works for WWE as a producer.
Yeah, because people respect the reputation you have.
Yeah,
And Edge has a hell of a reputation. So, next weekend. Jeez, man. Just the fucking ovation he's going to get if it actually happens. Whew, I'm getting chills just thinking about it,
yeah.
man.
It's gonna be early for us. It's gonna be starting the 0 hour starts at 11 a.m. our time.
Oh, I'm still gonna be like having breakfast.
Yeah,
The shit starts. So yeah, shit is gonna hit the fan real early that day.
yeah,
But at least we get a day where it happens early, and we don't have to worry about staying up into the late night hours for it. Which I don't mind staying up for it, but it's gonna feel nice to have it during the day for once.
yeah. And you can actually show up to work the next day.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't give a fuck. Like I
The
said.
following week is gonna be a different story.
Yeah, that's different. But we'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah,
So, yeah, man. Awesome shit by WWE with Edge this week. I can't wait to see what the future holds. He claims he doesn't know what the future holds, but I think he has some ideas.
oh yeah. He's gonna keep it a secret.
Yeah. I just want it to happen. So we'll see. One more week. One
Yeah.
more week is all we have to wait.
It'll be interesting to see if like people like spot him like at the airport in Heathrow or
Yeah.
where. Yeah,
I said private plane that shit. I keep him under wraps. I don't know how you hide him once he makes it to the airport, but private hangar
yeah,
and then just a fully tinted limo drives off. I don't know how you do it, but you're gonna have to throw out some serious money to make all that happen.
yeah. Just have the private plane just land in some field somewhere.
Land in the parking lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but
yeah.
fucking do this shit.
Tony will find a way.
He will
And
find a way.
as an added bonus, I had mentioned to you earlier. Last night, I thought it would have been fitting if they would have gotten Tony Chimmel to announce him for his match. It,
Would
it,
have
would,
been.
it would be fitting for Tony Khan to just hire Tony Chimmel to just be Edge's personal ring announcer.
Hell yes. I agreed with you when you said it, and it's what makes sense. He's the one who, announced him at his biggest moments.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, bring him in.
He's the one that
He's
came
his
up with
personal ring announcer.
the unique way he says the superstar.
Yeah, superstar. Yeah, there's no comparison. I can't do it.
No.
And I tried my best, and
Yeah.
I fucking failed. But yeah, man, real good shit with Edge. Can't wait to see what the future holds for Adam Copeland because he's gonna have to leave the name behind.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but hey, we'll take it. We'll
Yeah.
take whatever we can get. So now that we've gotten our moments in there for,
Well, it's you. There's no Andrew.
huh?
I said it's just you. There's no Andrew.
Yeah, true. But we agreed early on that this was really the only moment, the one that mattered for
Yeah.
WWE.
But Did you have something you were going to bring up?
I don't want to anymore. I want to end up on a high note and
Okay.
just let Edge
Okay.
Edge
Then
come
we
off
will.
with Edge because I don't want to talk about the Charlotte bullshit,
Oh no.
like how they fucked all that up. And
Yeah. No. No. We don't have to.
no,
No.
end on a high note for WWE. Let's leave it at Edge. So I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for AEW.
So the first match on Dynamite this week was international title Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy, and it's not the moment's not really the not the match itself, but it's after the match. So Orange Cassidy gets the win, of course. Uh, I mean, Wheeler Yuta had opportunities, but Orange Cassidy got him in the end. But as soon as he got the pin and the bell rang, BCC jumped Orange Cassidy in the ring. Wheeler and Claudio and Moxley. So it was 3-on-1, and then Trent and Chuck came out, and so it was even, but best friends were still getting beat down by BCC. Then the Lucha Brothers came out to help them out. Then cue the music, and fresh off of the G1 in New Japan, Eddie Kingston makes a return to eh, to jump into the brawl. Eddie Kingston grabs the mic, and we know Eddie Kingston can cut some fiery promos, but he can also get his point across with just a few words. And so all he said was, he said Wembley. He said us, him talking about himself, the Lucha Bros, best friends, Orange Cassidy versus the BCC, and whoever you other three you can get in a stadium stampede. And this one's gonna be wild because this will be the first stadium stampede with fans in attendance. The other two in Jacksonville were filmed overnight and with no fans, obviously, because of the pandemic. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be like Anarchy in the Arena, but on a larger scale.
Yeah, and I'm as if I wasn't looking forward to it enough. This, I wonder how they're gonna do it. I wonder how many cameras they're gonna have running
Yeah,
around. Like how many, because there's gonna have to be some pre-recorded stuff
yeah.
that
Right.
they play in between.
How many referees?
Yeah, it's gonna be insane, man. And you know me, I love insane. So
And they haven't announced it yet, but I think this may be like a precursor to them dropping that DLC for the Stadium Stampede on Fight Forever.
hell yeah,
I know it's coming out. That's gonna be crazy.
it would be nice
Yeah,
to finally get it.
but also you got to wonder who are the BCC gonna get to be their partners, because they need three people to make it even.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking, obviously I think Shota Umino will be there because he's Mox's boy. Uh,
yeah,
Also, and this is my guesses I'm going to throw out. Two big rivals in New Japan right now for Eddie Kingston, which are two of his hard hitting matches he had in G1. Uh, Ishii and Aaron Hinare, who after the G1 was over, Eddie Kingston was in one of the prelim, like, 8-man matches, and after the match, Hinare, who wasn't involved in the match, came out and attacked him, uh, and he challenged him for the never open weight strong title. So that those are my picks: Shota Umino, Ishii, and Aaron Hinare.
I can't even begin to start to think of who they could probably get. But it would be nice to have some New Japan talent come through and work with them.
And we already are.
Well, I mean, but in this match, I meant.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like they're obviously going to have it elsewhere, but you can't have too much New Japan talent. So if
Yeah.
they were to get more involved here, I would fucking love that shit. So I don't know, man. We'll see who they end up getting. Now, as far as my moment, it's going to be a bit of a shock.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody expected this to go down the way they did. But in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match, we had Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy.
Jeff
versus Jeff.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff. Oh, sorry. Just every time I hear Jeff, I remember that scene. So, okay. I'm going to start off by the positives. All right. Here are the positives. The money that they got from this deal they did, because it's advertising the game, which
Yeah.
is already out, which I still need to download.
Me too.
And I'll probably play tonight. Not gonna lie. That's what I'm probably gonna do as soon as I get out of here. But all the proceeds they got from that, all the money they got from that deal is going to help out with the situation out in Maui.
Yeah.
So that's I believe it was $100,000.
And that was just from the promotion for the game.
Yeah.
Now, the proceeds, because this week was Fight for the Fallen. Next week's shows are going to be Fighter Fest. All three shows both weeks, Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. All the proceeds are going to the Maui wildfires.
And then they also have special merch at their shop that you can buy online, that all the proceeds of that also go to help everybody, to help the situation out there. So, that's one thing about AEW is they've always helped out where they could when certain situations arise.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they were doing this to help out there. Positive number 2, the mask that Jeff Hardy came out with. I'm a sucker for horror movie shit. So for him to come out with his own horror-inspired mask, I fucking loved it. And I hope they decide to sell that mask, because I'm a sucker for masks and I will buy it. So that was positive number 2. The rest was just it was not good. It was just a match.
It was.
Like, I don't understand. Like, and I get it. It was a Tank/slash Chainsaw Massacre crossover brand deal.
Yeah.
But did they really need to do this in the main event? And is this what really needed to be done to raise money for the help out in Maui? I don't think so. They could have done something different. If this match would have been somewhere else during the show, I think it would have been fine.
Not only that, it's a Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Man, you're in Tennessee.
Yeah, at least do this shit in Texas.
I mean, I understand Jeff Jarrett's from Nashville, from Tennessee,
Yeah,
but yeah,
but
you
it's a
should have
Texas
done that.
Chainsaw Massacre death match.
And I guess they did it just because the game was about to be released.
Yeah,
I mean, if you knew that ahead of time, you could have swapped your schedule and just have it be somewhere in Texas.
yeah. Even if it was just like the outskirts of Texas, if you
Yeah,
don't want to come that far inland, because Texas is big,
yeah.
so it takes a lot of time and setup to get your stuff here right. But yeah, man, you could have done it somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, and
Uh,
as our friends at Wrestle Talk would say, it was goofy bollocks.
yes, but hey, I we needed to talk about it just for the help that they were offering with doing this, you know?
Yeah,
So we had to bring that up. That had to be my moment this week just because of the other stuff that went along with it. I might have to take another look at it. I really didn't pay that much attention to it, but
I
I
didn't
did
either.
feel that it wasn't the best match that could have been had. Maybe they could have thrown someone else in there or throw two other athletes in there to have a better caliber match, but I don't know. And then what
Maybe wrestlers who have more of a scarier vibe like Malachi.
you could have done like a Malachi Darby Allen,
Yes,
some shit like that, you know? I don't know. But hey, props to AEW for sticking with it though.
or we did see Joker Sting. You could
Yeah,
have had Malachi versus Joker Sting.
yeah. We could have had that. Like I said, there's many different things they could have done, but I still wanted to give them props for offering up the money they got from the deal to go for help out in Maui. So, yeah, even if it wasn't as good as it could have been, it was for a good cause. So we had to focus on that a little bit. So, yeah, we will see what AEW ends up doing this week. Hopefully they'll be able to stay focused because it's going to be a big week leading into All In.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be a big week, and with all the controversy and shit that has happened and is currently going on, more eyes are on AEW now more than ever. Whether it be good or bad, eyes are on you. So this is where things need to click, and we need to make this shit work. So I have I have the complete confidence that they can get this done. So they're gonna prove me right. So hell yeah. Well, since Andrew's not here, I took it into my hands to get this for another week. It's more of a list, not an actual question, but
okay.
it's what I got. Okay, it's what I came up with in the short time I had. So it is time to stump the brain. Maybe I should have pulled it up before I said that. Okay, Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
We all know that throughout their careers, stars can work with different names, different aliases, depending on what company they're in, where they go next, and all that shit. We all know how it works.
I don't know where this is going.
I want you to list all of the names Hulk Hogan has worked under.
Ah,
I'm okay. I'm gonna count. There is 9.
no.
But if you get 5, I call that a win. There are
let's see.
some pretty obvious ones.
Well, obviously he went by his real name, Terry Bollea.
Yes.
Of course, Hulk Hogan. Would you count Hollywood Hogan?
Yes.
Okay.
That's 3. Think I don't want to say it.
Was one? Did he actually go by? No, I don't know. Did he actually go by Hercules at one time?
Not on here.
Okay. Okay.
Not on the list I got.
I think there was one time too. I heard the name Terry Boulder.
4.
Okay.
So one more, and I call this a win. So you've had Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Boulder, Terry Bollea.
Yes.
4. Come on, dude. There's a so obvious one, and you're gonna hate yourself if you don't get it.
Like, okay, I know there was a time in like early 2000s WWE after he ditched the Hollywood Hulk Hogan thing, he wore a mask and went by like an alias. I think it was like something like Mr. America or something like that.
5.
Okay.
You got 5.
I I remember that like it wasn't supposed to be Hulk Hogan, but everybody knew it was.
Yeah.
So what are the others?
Okay. So I'm gonna go down the list.
Yeah.
You got Hollywood Hogan. And then for some reason on the list, you also have Hollywood Hulk Hogan because he obviously won as both.
Oh,
Hulk
okay.
Boulder,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Hulk Machine, Mr. America,
There we go.
Sterling Golden, Terry Bollea, and the Super Destroyer. Those are all names that he has gone by.
And okay, so that last one I think I've heard before. I believe because I know there have been other destroyers in the past, and they all wear masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely more than I would have gotten. So, and that's a win. That's a win. So, yeah, man, real good job. And like I said, all eyes are going to be on AEW going into All In. Biggest show going over in Wembley. It's going to be an amazing time.
Yeah.
Be an amazing time.
So we'll be here for our normal podcast Saturday night, but we'll also be here for watch along on Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be an early one, but we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out for that. Like always, if you have any questions or comments, wrestlelost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a follow and a sub here on Twitch and on YouTube. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend, and we will talk to y'all later.
And we're also working on getting us on TikTok as well.
Yeah. I still need to wrap that up as well.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll get that for you in the coming weeks.
yes.
So we'll see you next week.
See y'all later.